Thank you very much for staying. Welcome back. Now, put in place a robust local content policy that can help Ghana benefit more from the oil find. That's the advice coming from the Scottish government to Ghana. The country in 2010 started producing oil in commercial quantities. However, the expected benefits in terms of improved revenue and an economic turnaround is yet to be realized. Africa boss for the Scottish Development and Investment Agency, SDI, Andrew Monaghan, tells Joy Business building the capacity and skills of Ghanaians are also critical.
Your local content policy insists that Ghana will not be the victim of companies who come down here, make a lot of money out of oil and gas and then leave. Say thank you very much. That mandates companies that we bring down here to think in terms of a Ghanaization policy.
You think that the enforcement of these local content policy hold the key for Ghana to get closer to Scottish economies that have benefited from oil and even the Norwegian economies?
The very simple answer to that is yes. There is a far more complex answer to that as well, because you can't just rely on a local content policy. It's like having one leg on a stool. If that's all you have, it's going to fall over. You must have a lot of other things as well. For instance, one of the other things that we're extremely interested in, I've touched on it as well before, is education and training. If you don't have the people trained and ready for your oil and gas industry, then it will disappear in front of you.
Now, many businesses are not doing well in the country because of high operational costs and several other challenges. Government, in pursuit of a turnaround of the private sector, promised a stimulus package to resuscitate struggling but potentially vibrant companies. Joy Business caught up with one such company, a hair products manufacturing company. Now, MVP, CEO of the company, who is also the Vice President of Cosmetics and Toiletries Industry of the AGI, Sandy Osei-Agyemang, outlines some of these challenges and how businesses are struggling to survive in the wake of these challenges.
Entrepreneurship in Ghana today remains one of the most risky ventures anybody could ever consider. That's according to the Chief Executive Officer of the leading hair products manufacturing company, Slade Industries Limited. In an interview with Joy Business, Sandy Osei-Agyemang noted that private sector businesses are losing their relevance in the economy, mainly due to persistent challenges they continue to face in their line of work.
And having learned something and wanting to come back to contribute, I'm grateful that I've been able to do that. But from practical business sense, this is a very challenging environment that we operate in.
You were telling me that for the past 4 years it's been difficult. Exactly which aspects have been difficult?
Quite a few. The exchange rate has been very devastating for most businesses, including mine. Where, let me give you an example. Whereas maybe some years past, I used to spend, say, $2, 10 cedis to $1. So my raw materials are dollar-based. So if I was paying $1, 10 cents per pound, that means I needed maybe about 2 cedis and some change. But then when the cedi jumped to 3 plus and 4, that means I need more cedis, okay, to be able to buy the same amount of raw material.
Government has begun screening selected companies to be chosen for its stimulus package. An engineer with the technical support group of the Ministry of Trade and Industry tells Joy Business that aside the stimulus package, government will be providing manufacturing companies with the technical support they need to remain relevant in their fields.
I look at the technologies and things like that to see whether those technologies do have potential to increase our local participation, and then the finance people will tell us whether there is enough money to support what they need to do. Maybe we have to get to the point where we are looking at the fact that most of the things that we are producing here are import substitutes. So we have a choice of sending the money to America or sending the money to Ghana.
Under the proposed stimulus package, several distressed but vibrant companies are expected to be thrown a lifeline.
Meanwhile, the head of toiletries and cosmetics of the AGI, Sandy Osei-Agyemang, is attributing the high level of non-performing loans in Ghana to the increasing cost of credit by banks. According to him, the development can be best addressed if the Bank of Ghana charges all commercial banks to lower their interest rates.
Nobody goes into business to borrow money, not to want to pay back. But the situation of interest rate, paying interest upon interest, does affect your ability to pay. In the long run, we have what we have with the non-performing loans. Thirdly, people don't have the kind of disposable income. So the market is not there for you to push your sales. Okay, they might want it, but for you to charge a decent price so you can survive, you can't do that. So you have to furthermore charge not the fair price, which also affects your bottom line. Fourthly, we have this ECOWAS problem. You know, when you take the market as a whole, West Africa has a huge population, great market, but you're limited to Ghana most of the time because you can't ship to the other West African countries like they've done in East Africa, where their regional integration works extremely well. It doesn't happen here. So your market size is limited. So when you consider all this fact, what else have I left out? Oh, the duties you pay at the port. Goodness. All the bureaucratic way of doing business here makes business people want to find ways to survive. The way to survive means you have to cut corners. That might not be what you want to do, but you have to do what you have to do to survive. So doing business here is really, really difficult.
In another development, EcoBank boss Daniel Saki is optimistic moves to clear all the energy sector debts would help reduce cost of credit in the country. Government last Thursday named Standard Chartered Bank and Fidelity Bank as joint lead managers of the process to raise 10 million cedis to the energy sector debts. Now, the two institutions have been tasked to complete the fundraising exercise within 2 months. The energy sector debt, which is said to have reached about 8 billion Ghana cedis, has resulted in high loan defaults in the banking sector, while some banks are set to be collapsing. But Mr. Saki tells Joy Business this would help free up a lot of capital so they can lend more to the private sector.
The good news is that the government's ability to raise such significant funding will enable it to repay this debt. It will inject significant liquidity into the banking sector and allow banks to support sectors of the economy that have hitherto been deprived of the economy because these funds are tied up in SOEs and also in the energy sector. So government's ability to raise these funds will ensure that liquidity is pumped into the banking sector, and hopefully banks will be able then to redirect it to other sectors of the economy that are in real need of such funding. So overall, we believe it's a positive step.
Could it have any impact on cost of credit as well in overall? Because some have raised the issue about the rising NPLs. EcoBank has a fairly good position, but the same cannot be said for the entire industry, and how this could impact also on the cost of credit going forward.
I believe that there are other determinants of the cost of credit, but definitely the highest NPLs is one of the major factors contributing to the high cost of credit. And government's ability to make the significant payment will help reduce the NPL on banks' books and hopefully reflect in lower lending rates. Already we are happy with the trends we see because we've seen that virtually, I think week in, week out, every bank is announcing a reduction in rates. I'm sure that as consumers we are looking at a faster reduction, but we believe that as the factors are tackled step by step, we'll see a gradual reduction. And that reduction, we believe, will filter through to the final consumer.
And away from that, leading producers of alcoholic beverages in West Africa, GEHOC Distilleries Company, has temporarily halted operations in Nigeria. Last year, Nigeria, which is the largest economy in West Africa, went into an economic recession, making it difficult for businesses and industries to operate well in the country. Among the companies affected is GEHOC Distilleries. In an interview with Joy Business, marketing manager of GEHOC, Elvis Blankson, explains it is currently studying the market and will return when things improve. There's more in this report.
The state-owned GEHOC Distilleries produces alcoholic beverages to both the West African and European markets. Management of the company has recently taken a decision to hold on to its Nigeria operations following the tough economic times in that country. Among several challenges faced by the company in recent times include currency transaction issues and a significant drop in demands of the various brands. Elvis Blankson is the marketing manager of GEHOC.
GEHOC, we've been in Nigeria and we had few challenges, I think, last year. They were also in recession. If you know, Nigeria was in a bad recession economy last year, and that really affected almost all the foreign companies. You could not...
Including GEHOC?
Including us, of course, including GEHOC. You could not even repatriate your money you could not bring dollar back to the country, and so all these things, and the economy was really in a bad shape. The dollar, the rate fell so much from 290 to almost 500, and so you could imagine the loss. And so we really had to put our business on hold. Most companies did that. So we actually kept our business on hold. At the moment, we are in Liberia.
In Ghana, however, Elvis Blankson mentioned power supply as a major challenge last year, as the cost of drawing power is huge.
Last year was really, really not a good year, but I think we have overcome that. The energy has stabilized now. I don't want to go to the past because it's been a challenge that we've been able to resolve and overcome. It is good that now we have a stabilized energy that is really working to our perfection now. Last year, if I tell you the amount of oil we had to buy to power our generator, it will amaze you, but we have overcome that, and it's really impacted on our profits negatively. So that they have put in place measures when it comes to, fluctuations in power and other power challenges. They have really put in place measures. For instance, we have a machine that is actually takes not so much, power, and sometimes we are even compelled to use our own generator because, when you compare with the normal electricity, it's even expensive.
The company has been able to achieve its first half production targets and is focusing on enhancing its Castlebridge brand.
So live on the marketplace, we're taking a breather here, bringing you an investment tip courtesy Daffin Finance.
Investment tip is brought to you by Daffin Finance. Deposit, investment, borrowing advisory.
What is an investment? This is the conversion of assets, usually money, into a security or enterprise, with the objective of preserving the amount or capital as well as earning a reasonable return or percentage at regular intervals. In the next few days, we will take you through 4 broad investment securities.
Investment tip was brought to you by Daffin Finance. Deposit, investment, borrowing advisory.
Welcome back, and it's now time for our Industry Watch segment. And the Ghana Export Promotion Authority is set to implement a one district, one export commodity policy nationwide. The authority is collaborating with the Exim Bank with the aim of strengthening efforts to boost revenue mobilization from the export sector. Per this policy, unidentified export potential agro products from every district in the country shall be developed as part of government's industrialization program. Joy Business Ebenezer Sabote has more in the following report.
The Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GIPA, through the collaboration with the Exim Bank, hopes to provide financial support to exporters and add value to the country's exports. This will be done through provision of funds to acquire technologies to facilitate the value addition process. According to marketing manager of Export Promotion Authority, Gifty Ajay Sam, the One District, One Export policy is part of an initiative by the authority in collaboration with the Exim Bank to boost export promotion in the country. She spoke with Joy Business in an interview on the sidelines of the authority's engagement with the Embassy of Mexico.
It has been set up to support exporters with monies or funds for both development and promotion. So the development aspect will help them to develop their products by adding value to them, by ensuring that they get consistent supply of that product. We have a very good relationship with the Exim Bank, and then just last 2 weeks, we're in Ho, and where we launched our one district, one exportable products, strategy, which is part of the national export strategy. And Exim Bank was there to talk with us and talk with the district assemblies on how they could assess their funds to support exporters in their district to produce for the export market.
The engagement was also to allow some selected private sector businesses to participate in the Mexico Business Summit slated for October 22nd this year in Mexico. The Mexico ambassador to Ghana, Maria de Los Angeles Ariola Aguirre, also commented on the summit,
where businessmen from Mexico and from different countries around the world, and also leaders from the world, they discuss about the future of Mexico, the future of Mexico in the world, and also between businessmen, our business people, they get into B2B meetings where they can make businesses, and also the companies can make themselves to know better each other. And this, in the case of Ghana, it is a great opportunity for Ghanaian companies to come, participate, get into B2B meetings with their counterparts, and also to get closer through business our two countries, because the capacities of getting Ghana and Mexico to be closer partners are enormous.
The Export Promotion Authority is expected to use the opportunity to boost the nation's trade relations between Ghana and Mexico through export.
Business people.
Let's get some more details from marketing manager Agnes Gifty J as she outlines more strategies for the Export Promotion Authority to boost revenue mobilization.
Look at our orientation as an institution. We were set up to help Ghana to expand her export base in both value and quantity. And so before we were set up, Ghana was exporting only products like cocoa beans, timber logs and lumber, unprocessed minerals, and some electricity. But since we came on the scene, we have worked with so many bodies to ensure that value is added to this traditional product. So now we don't just export cocoa beans, but now we are exporting cocoa butter, cocoa cake, cocoa liquor, and cocoa and things like chocolate. I'm using chocolate because now it's not only CPC that is exporting chocolate or that is manufacturing chocolate, but some other companies have also come into the country to produce and export chocolate. So CPC has another competitor. But that is not to say that it's only the traditional product that we are adding value to. We are supporting so many companies to add value to their products, and our programs are based on how they could add value to their products. We do take our exporters to trade fairs and missions, and then it's not just to look for market, but it is also to look for technology to help them in their processing. I'll refer particularly to a product like moringa and hibiscus tea, which we call Subulu. Hibiscus tea and moringa powder were initially just exported, and they were just crushed powder that they were exporting. But through our facilitation of one company in a trade fair in China, the exporter acquired machinery, and he was able to make a moringa tea bags. He was able to make hibiscus tea. Okay, and that product is being sold not just in China, but in so many other parts of the world. And then we also train our exporters on packaging. We run a training program for exporters, and then one of the key areas at the training program is how they could package their product to meet the market needs. So we get resource persons from the packaging industry to speak to them. This is part of value addition, because if you have a good product and it's not well packaged, then you haven't added value to it. Yeah, the Exim Bank is one of our key collaborators. We are more than twins. We are very close with them. And you see, if you know about the Exim Bank, it has metamorphosed from EDIF, that is the Export Development and Agricultural Investment Fund, into what we now call Exim. It has been set up to support exporters with monies or funds for both development and promotion. So the development aspect will help them to develop their products by adding value to them, by ensuring that they get consistent supply of that product. We have a very good relationship with the Exim Bank, and then just last 2 weeks, we're in Ho, and where we launched our one district, one exportable products, strategy, which is part of the national export strategy. And Exim Bank was there to talk with us and talk with the district assemblies on how they could access their funds to support exporters in their district to produce for the export market.
Talk us through this one district, one exportable product.
Yeah, the one district, one exportable product was one of the key strategies in the national export strategy, which was introduced in 2013. And the objective of the one district, one exportable product is to go around all the districts in Ghana to help them to identify a product that could be developed for the export market. And so this strategy will help them to get money, because you are producing a product, the product has export potential. So it will help to create jobs also for the people in that district. It will help to raise funds for them and to help the economy to increase its export base in both value and quantity. One of the things I would like to talk about is our plan to establish regional offices in all the 10 regions of Ghana. Currently, we have only 5 zonal offices, where, sometimes, for example, when you go to the north, you have just 2 zonal offices serving all the northern part of Ghana. And when you come to the eastern region and the Volta region, we have just 1 zonal office. But one of the things we are doing to boost exports this year is to establish regional offices in all the 10 regions so that they could work more closely with the districts and with the regions to help to develop exportable products for the market. It has already started, and we already have a regional rep for the eastern region. We didn't used to have one. We only had one person in who looking after the 2 regions, and sometimes Accra will keep oversight responsibilities. But as I speak right now, we have a zonal officer for the eastern region, and then I know that the chief executive also has plans that before the end of the year we'll have regional offices in all the 10 regions of Ghana.
All right, so the Industry Watch comes your way every Tuesday on the Marketplace. Now, a credit officer at the Micro and Small Loan Center in Ho has emerged ultimate winner in the grand finale of the Airtel Wumrenie promo. Daniel Yao Kumafo accumulated the highest recharge points at the end of the 4-month reward scheme to pick the 150,000 Ghana Cedi grand prize. About 2.7 million subscribers of the network received consolation prizes in the form of data bundles, smartphones, and cash over the period. Prince Apia was there in our report.
The winner is Daniel.
Mr. Daniel Yakumafo beat stiff competition from Mustafa Tofik and Samuel Obeng Amwaku Jr. in the final draw in Kumasi. The first and second runners-up, respectively, went home with 100,000 Ghana cedis and 75,000 Ghana cedis. Wumrenie is said to be the telecom industry's biggest and most rewarding recharge promotion. It was introduced in February this year to appreciate and empower subscribers to realize their dreams. The overexcited Yakumafo spoke to Love Business after receiving his check.
I did not hear of it earlier, so a friend won a phone. So as he won a phone, he told me that there's a promo going on from Airtel and he won a phone. So I was telling myself, if my friend who is in Ho won a phone from Airtel, then maybe the promo is genuine. So, but let me also give it a try and see. So I took it from there. I also tried and I won a phone. So after winning the phone, I had a vim that the thing is genuine. So I was just putting money into it, hoping that any pass at all I'll win. And I won the weekly price, which was 10,000. So from there I continued. I didn't stop. and I won a monthly prize which was 25,000. After winning this, I said, no, this money, let me not use for anything at all. Let me just put it back into this promo. Once the ultimate prize is there. So I invested back into it, and today I'm the grand prize winner.
Marketing Director of Airtel Ghana, Rosie says the promo was the company's way of expressing gratitude to the people who keep its business going.
Invested almost 5 million cedis in this promo, and this is really investing in the lives of our customers. I mean, the customers are the ones who have made us who we are today. They are the reason why we exist. So investing in them is what we'd like to do, and that's what we've done through Womreni, investing about 5 million cedis worth of prizes in them. I mean, as you know, Airtel is the most innovative telecoms company in Ghana. We're always finding exciting ways to ensure that the stay on our network is great for our customers. So we have some amazing things being planned for our customers. We have an awesome data package that we will be bringing out very, very soon. And we have some really cool bundles that we know our customers will enjoy. So all I'm going to say is I'm not going to release too much, but keep a lookout. Airtel is coming out with some really cool things very soon.
For Joy Business, Prince Apia reporting.
We say congratulations to the award winner. And on that note, we draw the curtains down on this afternoon's edition of The Marketplace. My name is Emmanuel Apwachi. Have a good afternoon.